Doc Ock has a new body and returns in Amazing Spider-Man 20, but the one that's really got my attention, Infamous Iron Man with Victor Von Doom. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is Preview Picks, where I go over the books that are coming out this week, give you a little bit of insight, and tell you whether there's something that I'm going to be picking up, and whether there's something you should check out as well. To start off with, we're going to go with the independent titles, and the only real serious one that I'm considering right now is from Dark Horse, and that is Black Hammer number 4. So Jeff Lemire's Black Hammer has been one of the standout books from Dark Horse, and we get to see a little bit more character development for the main character of Abe, who is really kind of the father figure and the head of the household for these abandoned superheroes. With that in mind, we're going to move over to Marvel, where we do get Amazing Spider-Man issue number 20, and this is the first tie-in for the clone conspiracy, and it shows, as you can see on the cover, Dr. Octopus has made his triumphant return. What that means for our friendly global Spider-Man is yet to be seen, but we get to see the heart of this new U technology and how it's resurrected one of the most famous villains in Spider-Man's history. We also have Carnage issue number 13 coming out, where they continue on with this whole Darkhold situation, and it's amazing that this series is flying under the radar, especially with the introduction of a new symbiote character in the name of Rays. So that's a book that was debuted a few months ago, and it's one that you should check out if you want to speculate on a new character appearance. We also have Black Panther number 7, and he's calling in some reinforcements to help resurrect and rectify the situation that's in Wakanda, and that means the crew is in town. So that's Luke Cage, Misty Knight, Storm, and Manifold are all making an appearance in this book. We have Civil War II Kingpin, which shows the man broken and bloodied. Last we saw him, he was arrested after this confrontation with the Punisher. So it's going to be interesting to see how Wilson Fisk rolls into his new title based on what Matthew Rosenberg's doing in this final issue of the Civil War II tie-in. Then Deadpool Too Soon, which is a very appropriate name because I feel like there's too much Deadpool, and this is definitely too soon to be debuting another book. He does show up. But we're going to skip that and go to Death of X number 2, which I should probably skip as well. Overall, I wasn't really happy with the way first issue was going, but I'm going to stick with this series because it's leading up to IVX, and it's going to be a major player moving forward in both the Inhumans and the X-Men mutant storylines. Doctor Strange number 13 is also going to hit shelves, and this is where we see the continuation of the last issue, and what we find is that Doctor Strange's rogues gallery is basically after his head, and how is this master of the mystical arts really going to combat them without all the magic that he was known to use before? With the resources like that running so scarce, it's going to be an interesting kind of conflict for the new Doctor. Next we'll hop over to Mighty Thor number 12, where we see the secret origin of Thor's hammer Mjolnir. So this is going to be a very interesting kind of story, especially since Mjolnir made its debut as kind of a living embodiment of Jane Foster, able to project magic out into the real world and be tangible, so that's very interesting. What isn't quite as interesting is Silk number 13, which is continuing on with this Negative Zone storyline, which I feel is really a placeholder that should have been kind of booted out of the book. I can't wait until we get to the next issue, which is a clone conspiracy tie-in, and I feel like that should get it back on the rails, or at least that's my hope. Spider-Gwen number 13 is the debut of the Earth-65 Mysterio character. So this is going to be kind of a Mary Jane's ensemble with a little bit less Spider-Gwen and a little bit more Gwen Stacy as they face off against this magical, mystical illusionist. But speaking of magic and mystical, we are going to be talking about Victor Von Doom, who is making his debut in his brand new book, Infamous Iron Man. So the man in the Iron Mask, or in this case, the Iron Man mask, is going to be kind of like this, I don't know what he's going to be. He's going to be an anti-hero, he's going to be a hero, he's going to be an evil villain. This is the book that is most likely this week to spoil everything about Civil War II and what happens with Tony Stark. So it is a must-buy for anybody that is interested in that storyline, maybe getting a little bit of spoilers, but definitely it's going to be a great start to this character and a very new style of arc for Victor Von Doom, and I can't be more hyped about it. I really hope that Brian Michael Bendis doesn't really let me down on this one. One book that I can be sure isn't going to be a disappointment is on DC's side, and that's Batman number 9, where Tom King starts up the I Am Suicide story arc. So this sees, after the conclusion of the Night of the Monster Men, we are going to have Batman asking favors of Amanda Waller, securing his own Suicide Squad, and going to take on the most deadly rogue in his gallery, and that is Bane. So he's hunting down Psycho Pirate in order to rectify Gotham Girl's situation, and this is where it's going to lead into those things, and hopefully tie into the Justice League Suicide Squad event that they're having this winter, so that'd be pretty cool. In other Bat books, we're going to have Dark Knight the Master Race number 6, which is going to continue on, And since it's been so delayed and I don't really know when the last issue came out, I don't know what the story's all about. The only thing that I know is that Jim Lee is doing a really good variant, so check that one out. It's a recreation of the original kind of Dark Knight Superman, Batman fighting scene. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I really like it. But another book that I really like, mostly because I am very interested in the story, is Green Arrow number 9. So this is going to be a continuation of this kind of Island of Mysteries story arc where we've got Black Canary, Oliver Queen, where they've got to find Diggle, and this mechanical bear and this whole underground base thing is sure to be uncovered as part of that arc. A book that I am going to probably give another try this week is Green Lanterns, and that issue number 9 is going to be the start of The Phantom Ring, which is a brand new arc from Sam Humphries. So I'm very interested to see what this kind of brings to the table, and given the time that the characters have had to develop and the way things have kind of settled, I feel like Sam Humphries should be in a really good place, and I'm interested to see what he can bring to this story compared to what the early run was and how I was feeling about that. One of the books that I am really excited is returning to its main storyline as well is Nightwing number 7, and that's going to bring us back to the whole Rise of the Raptor, Parliament of Owls kind of situation. And where we last left that off, Nightwing had just separated from Raptor, who went back to Cobra, and man, we're going to see this whole betrayal, mentor-mentee kind of thing going on, and I can't wait to see what that's all about as well. Then Raven number 2 is going to be hitting shelves as well, so we get more high school adventures from the pen of Marv Wolfman. So I wasn't really taken by the first issue. I'm probably not going to be picking this one up, but for fans of the Teen Titans, this could be a very interesting read, so I definitely recommend checking it out as well. Superman number 9 is going to continue the fight against dinosaurs on Dinosaur Island or whatever that is. And in this variant cover that I've got here, you can see, like, I don't know, a Nazi army guy on a pterodactyl chasing after Superman and Superboy. It's weird, but hey, if it's going to be an entertaining read, I can't wait for it. Plus, it's just going to set up for the next arc, which is going to be Dads and Sons, and it's going to have Superman, Batman, Superboy, and Robin. So that's going to be pretty sweet. This is going to be a good finisher to get into that a little bit different style of storyline. But the big finisher for the ongoing books is going to be Trinity number 2, where when we left off this last book, we were looking into some sort of portal or mirror that can show you your desires or your history, and we're not really sure where that's going to kind of go. And in this whole situation, it feels like this is going to be a conflict that's going to both bring a lot more knowledge to these individuals, that's going to unify them, and that's something that you really need in this overall universe. It's just been really pissy to see, you know, Batman being kind of like douchey to Superman, and Superman being all like, oh, but he doesn't like me, and it's just like, dude, just get them together. The Trinity needs to be solid. So I like to see this development in this particular book. And then to finish everything out, we have a brand new number 1, and that is Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye. And with Cave Carson, we see the third introduction of a book for the Young Animal imprint. So I expect it to be a little bit off the deep end, but a little bit more grounded just because the subject matter isn't quite as out there. But I have been wrong before. So I'm really interested to see where that is. Plus there's this Bill Sienkiewicz variant, which is very interesting, and it's very intriguing as to what it's going to mean to the story. I can't wait to see what that's all about, just to try out new things. So those are all the books I'm going to be taking a look at this week, but I want to know what you guys are thinking about grabbing too, so hit me up in the comments down below. Tell me if I'm missing something and we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe right there to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.